Welcome to the deep dive. We're all about cutting through the noise, finding those key insights in the latest research to get you up to speed fast.
That's the goal.
And today, we're tackling a really mind-bending discovery in atomic science. We're focusing on this record-breaking nucleus that's been described as, well, watermelon-shaped.
It's a fantastic description, isn't it? Really paints a picture.
It really does. Our main source today is an article from SciTech Daily. It's titled, Record-Breaking Watermelon Nucleus Could Rewrite Atomic Science, published August 20th, 2025, reporting on work from the University of Jyväskylä.
A very reputable source for this kind of physics news.
Exactly. And our mission for this deep dive is to unpack what this oddly shaped nucleus actually is, why it's so significant, really, and how it might just push the boundaries of, well, everything we thought we knew about the fundamental building blocks of the universe.
It certainly challenges some core ideas.
So yeah, get ready for some surprising facts and maybe a few aha moments along the way. Okay, so physicists have been poking at the edges of nuclear stability for decades, right? Trying to figure out how matter holds together.
That's a good way to put it, yes. Exploring the limits.
But what happens when you push those limits even further than before? Today, we're really unpacking a discovery that seems to be shaking things up, starting with something fundamental, radioactive decay.
Right. Radioactive decay is absolutely crucial. It's one of the main ways we learn how atomic nuclei behave.
And there's a specific type that's key here.
Yes, a particularly, let's say, rare form called proton emission.
Proton emission, okay.
It's where an unstable nucleus, basically trying to get more stable, actually ejects a proton, just sheds it.
Huh. So it just throws out a proton.
Essentially, yeah. It's a very specific and quite challenging process to actually observe in the lab.
And this is where the record comes in, isn't it? The really big news here.
Exactly. This is the monumental part. After, more than 30 years of really focused research in this specific area.
30 years.
Physicists in Finland have now measured the heaviest nucleus ever observed undergoing this specific process, proton emission.
The heaviest ever. What does hitting a record like that actually tell us? I mean, what's the next big question scientists are asking now?
Well, it tells us we're getting better and better at creating and spotting these really exotic things in the lab.
Okay.
Each new record, especially one this extreme, it kind of validates our techniques,
Yeah.
And it pushes our theories.
Right.
It's like a stepping stone. It helps us figure out how to find even weirder, more short-lived nuclei and understand the forces holding them together, or in this case, letting them decay.
Okay, so let's properly introduce the star of the show then. This newly identified nucleus, 188 astatine, or 188 at.
The one.
And yeah, it comes with that really intriguing label, watermelon-shaped. I have to say, that's maybe one of the more delightful descriptions I've encountered in physics.
It is catchy.
Does that visual actually help guide the theory, though, or is it just a cool name?
Oh, it definitely helps. It's not just catchy. So to get specific, 188L has 85 protons and 103 neutrons.
85 protons, 103 neutrons.
Right, and that makes it the lightest isotope of astatine known so far.
Yeah, lightest? Okay.
But the challenge here is, well, it's huge. These kinds of exotic nuclei, they exist for only a tiny fraction of a second.
Like how short?
We're talking microseconds, maybe even less. And they're made in incredibly small quantities, maybe a few atoms per experiment.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, detecting them, studying them, it needs incredibly precise, really sensitive experimental methods.
So that really is the million-dollar question then, isn't it? How on earth did they manage to find something so fleeting, so rare?
It's pretty clever, actually. The nucleus was produced using something called a fusion-evaporation reaction.
Fusion evaporation.
Yeah, think of it like this. You take a beam of atoms, in this case, strontium-84 ions, and you accelerate them, smash them into a target. Here, it was natural silver.
Okay, so a collision.
A very energetic collision. The strontium fuses with the silver atom, creating this super excited, unstable thing called a compound nucleus.
Right.
But it's too hot, too energetic.
Yeah.
So it quickly evaporates off some neutrons to cool down, and that's how you form the new isotope you're after, 188 at.
And then you have to catch it before it vanishes.
Exactly. Once it's made, it flies out of the target, and they use this amazing device, the RITU recoil separators detector setup.
RITU?
Yeah, RITU.
Yeah.
Think of it like a super specialized filter. It's designed to meticulously sort and isolate these incredibly rare 188 at nuclei from all the other junk, all the background noise from the reaction.
So it plucks them out?
Precisely. It lets the physicists study them in that tiny window of time before they decay via proton emission or whatever else they do.
Incredible technology. Okay, let's get to the really big claim from the article title. Could rewrite atomic science. That sounds huge.
Yeah, this is a strong statement, yeah.
For our listeners, can you maybe break that down? What specific parts of our current nuclear models does this discovery really challenge? Are we talking a total rewrite or more like a, significant edit?
Probably more like a significant edit, but one with potentially profound implications. It's not tearing everything down, but it's definitely adding a really unexpected twist.
Okay. And the watermelon shape is central to this.
It absolutely is. That shift is key. So the researchers, they used an expanded theoretical model to make sense of the data they collected.
Right.
And based on that model and the measurements, the nucleus can be interpreted as strongly prolate.
Prolate.
Yeah, prolate just means elongated, stretched out along one axis like a rugby ball or, well, watermelon, significantly longer than it is wide, not a sphere.
Okay, so definitely not round.
Definitely not. And this distinct shape seems crucial to its unusual behavior
Yeah.
because the core scientific finding here, this is the really important bit, the properties they measured for 188 suggest a significant change in the trend of binding energy for what's called the valence proton.
The valence proton, that's
Yeah.
the outermost one, right? The one easiest to knock off.
Exactly. It's the most loosely bound proton, and it dictates a lot about the nucleus's stability and how it interacts.
And its binding energy trend changed.
Yeah, it deviated from what the models predicted based on other heavy nuclei. And this deviation, this change, the researchers suggest, is possibly explained by, get this, an interaction unprecedented in heavy nuclei.
Unprecedented. So something never seen before.
In nuclei this heavy, yes. That's the potential new physics they're hinting at. Some kind of force or arrangement or interaction between the protons and neutrons inside that we hadn't accounted for in our models for these extreme cases.
So when we hear unprecedented interaction and this trend change in binding energy, what does that actually mean for the textbooks, for the models we use? What kind of new research trails does this blaze for you, our listener, to think about?
It means that our current, really detailed maps of how protons and neutrons stick together and behave inside these heavy nuclei, well, they might be incomplete.
Huh?
Think of our nuclear models like a really complex blueprint for building atomic nuclei. This discovery, it doesn't just add a new room or a minor detail. It suggests there might be a whole different architectural principle, maybe a new kind of force, or at least a known force acting in a very unexpected way, especially out here at the edge, in these super heavy, proton-rich nuclei.
So it forces a rethink.
Absolutely. It forces physicists to go back, revisit the fundamental theories of nuclear structure, and refine them, hopefully leading to new models that can better predict the behavior of even more exotic types of matter we haven't even discovered yet.
Understanding why this matters, this unprecedented interaction, it really feels like the payoff for decades of incredibly painstaking work.
It really is.
And behind this specific breakthrough, there's a key researcher we should mention, doctoral researcher Henna Kokkonen from the University of Jyväskylä.
Yes, Henna Kokkonen. This study is actually a central part of her PhD thesis.
Wow, talk about a PhD project.
Right, and what's really quite impressive is that this work directly follows up on her master's thesis research.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For her master's, she was part of the team that discovered another new type of atomic nucleus, 190-estatine, slightly heavier.
So she's done this before.
She has. Her master's work was published back in 2023 in a journal called Physical Review C. So she was already setting the stage for this finding.
You can really feel her excitement in this quote from the article. She says, "Isotope discoveries are rare worldwide, and this is the second time I have had the opportunity to be part of making history."
That's wonderful.
She continues, "Every experiment is challenging, and it feels great to do research that improves understanding of the limits of matter and the structure of atomic nuclei." It really captures that drive, doesn't it? That fundamental curiosity.
It absolutely does. It highlights the passion needed for this kind of demanding experimental work. And it's also important to mention this wasn't just her alone.
Right, collaboration is key.
Definitely. The research article itself was written as part of a big international collaboration. It involved experts in theoretical nuclear physics as well, needed to interpret the results.
Makes sense.
And the study, the paper itself, was published in a very prestigious journal, Nature Communications, on May 29th, 2025.
Nature Communications, okay.
Yeah. So if you listening want to delve even deeper, you can look it up. The title is New Proton Emitter 188 at 1 Implies an Interaction Unprecedented in Heavy Nuclei.
Great. Okay, so let's bring this back home. What does this all really mean for you listening? It feels very specific, very niche, maybe?
It might seem that way at first
But
glance.
this isn't just some obscure physics finding locked away in a lab somewhere, is it? It feels like it's about pushing the absolute limits of what we know about the universe, about the forces that govern everything.
That's exactly it.
It's about uncovering maybe new rules for how reality itself is put together. It forces us to constantly update how we think about matter, right?
Precisely. Discoveries like this one, even when they involve these incredibly tiny fleeting particles like 8088 ats, they have a ripple effect. They profoundly impact our theoretical models.
Okay.
They challenge our overall understanding of nuclear structure, how things are built at the most basic level. It's actually a fantastic example of how science really works, that ongoing dynamic evolution of knowledge.
Yeah.
Every new piece of data, especially surprising data like this, forces us to refine our picture, maybe redraw parts of it. It shows us there's always more to learn, more layers to peel back.
It really underscores that relentless quest for knowledge, doesn't it? Down at the most fundamental level.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been an amazing deep dive today, really getting into the weeds of this watermelon nucleus 188-astatine and its potential to, well, maybe rewrite some atomic science textbooks.
It's fascinating stuff.
It's a powerful reminder, I think, that even in areas we might assume are pretty well understood, there are still these profound secrets just waiting for us to find them.
And that leads to a really interesting thought to leave you with.
Ooh. Go on.
If something as seemingly fundamental as the binding energy of a proton can change in these unexpected ways in extreme nuclei, well, what other basic properties of matter might be hiding surprises? What other fundamental rules might shift under extreme conditions, perhaps leading to structures or even shapes we can't even imagine right now?
Wow, shapes we can't yet imagine. That is a truly thought-provoking idea to end on. Thank you for that.
My pleasure.
And thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Keep exploring, keep asking questions, and definitely keep that curiosity alive. We'll catch you next time on The Deep Dive.